Good afternoon to all IEM and UEM family members. So today the topic is again concern about posture, and this is by Dr. Anamika Benial, and she is from the Department of Physiotherapy. So yes, posture is a concern for all of us, and definitely if we do not sit properly, then it leads to a lot of trouble later on. So definitely it will be very interesting and partnering also. So madam, you may kindly take over. Definitely it will be interesting for everybody.
Good evening, everyone. IEM and UEM family members. Firstly, I would like to thank Chancellor Sir, VC Sir for providing me this opportunity, and the family members, of course, for taking interest into it. Before I go with my slides, I would like to say a few words about why we are so much concerned about the posture. Because how we sit, how we stand, how we walk, how we lie down, these are the general things we do every day, every time. Now, we are sitting, some are standing, some are holding their phones. So, of course, it is some posture they are having. So, why do we need to know about it and how it works? So, see if you work on sitting on a table, on a chair, or on a couch, using a phone on lying down on bed, or maybe any other posture you are having. So what is happening that we are exerting some pressure on our body or some point of pressure in our body parts. So how our body react? What our body do? Does it pain? Maybe it's swelled up. Maybe you have a restricted ranges. So these all are my concern for today. That how do we make our body properly present, make our body comfortable. These are the steps which we do every day, and we are concerned about it because after a certain time we feel that okay, there is a little pain, okay, there is little swelling, okay, there is little range restricted. So we ignore it because it is a fraction of time, or maybe it is very less in the ranges. But if we continue it for longer time, if we are we are holding our phone for nearly 2-3 hours lying down on a bed, so this may cause a problem because we are having a posture from 2-3 hours continuously. We are exerting some pressure on certain points. So this is my concern that if we do such things, so how can we know about it, that whether we are doing it correctly or we are doing it wrong way. So today, this is my topic, that we should concern about our posture so that we can make it correct, or we can assess it at our home, so that we can easily, in a last, I will show a video according to my presentation. So you will easily understand that how we can assess our posture and how we can correct it, and what should we do for making it correct or making it better, or if we need any treatment, so we can know about it very early stage. So let's go with my slides. Okay. Today we are going to discuss, we will go further for the definition of posture, type of posture, mechanism of posture, pattern of posture, principle of re-education or technique of re-education. These are few points which may be interesting for you, so that you can make your posture correct, make yourself treated, and make yourself comfortable and long lasting, like you will not have any problem for a longer age. So this is the definition for the posture. Everybody, I will tell it in a very layman language, or we can say that very easy and day-to-day terms, that how we are carrying our body, how we are exerting a pressure on certain points of our body when we are pressing, or when we are dividing our force, when we are standing, when we are sitting, we are exerting some force on our body. We are standing, so we are dividing our full body weight in onto our toes, onto our foot, onto our heel. So how we divide it? The posture which we gain, we divide our body weight in some pattern. So that is the pattern which we acquire for longer time. That is our posture. Like if I am sitting right now, so I am exerting maximum pressure on my pelvis. So I'm exerting the pressure pelvis, and my pelvis is doing a good job because it is holding this position. Say if I'm going to deliver this lecture for nearly 40 minutes, nearly 30 minutes. So this is my posture which I'm acquiring for 30 minutes, and I'm exerting maximum pressure on my pelvis. This is my posture. Maybe some of us are standing, so they are exerting maximum pressure on their feet. So they are dividing their body weight onto their feet, and they are holding this position for maybe 10 minutes, maybe for 15 minutes. This is the posture we are holding and we are carrying on, and we use our maximum muscle work, that we are the coordinated muscle work, so that we can hold this position. And the holding of this position for a longer time, this is called a posture. So if we divide it in a very simple way, that if we want to know that whether our posture is correct or not, I am showing 3 pictures so we can know about that. One is wrong, second is wrong, and third one is correct. Why it is correct? Because the pelvis is neutral, weight is equally distributed, and the all feet are properly aligned, joints are stable, abdominal muscles are tight, that means erect and upright ribs or retracted shoulder. Like I am doing my shoulder protracted because I am sitting and I am lean down on my laptop. But if I correct myself, so I will sit like this, I will hold my shoulder in a retracted form. Ear over shoulder, ear, this is my ear lobe, and this should be in a straight way. So I am holding this position for a maximum standard time period, so that I can beyond my lifetime I can use this posture in a correct way, and I can go for no any faulty posture. So there are certain types which is we are dividing into it, that active posture or inactive posture. You can go for it static posture, dynamic posture in further division of the active posture. So how we can show that what is inactive posture? Like I am showing a picture over here. The lady is lying down. She is relaxing herself. This is the attitude she is adapting for relaxation. This is a wrong posture. But she is doing it for relaxation, maybe for some time, maybe for longer time. But this is wrong posture. By because you can see her ear pinna and her shoulder. The range is not in a straight line. So I can go further that it is a wrong posture. Or this posture we are using that. So for if I want to relax her, I will suggest her a better posture which she can acquire, and longer time she will feel that she is relaxed better than this posture. If you people are doing also that, many of us are using our couches or our sofas for using laptop and doing certain work, so we can provide an alternative position so that they can go further and make themselves more comfortable, more relaxing, and the posture is also good. This is the active posture. It is also divided into the 2 forms, static and dynamic. Why I'm saying that active posture divided in static and dynamic? Because static posture where I am not moving, but my muscles are working. My muscles are working for keeping my body in a position. Like if I'm sitting, so there is faulty posture, like I have shown in this picture, that someone are slouching and some are doing their abdominals more stressed. So they are using this in a faulty way. But if I sit in a straight manner, so this is my correct way. But this is a static one because I am not moving. I am sitting on a table. In the dynamic phase, what I do, I will walk, maybe I will jog, maybe I will running. But I have to keep my body in a straight line or in a angulated line, but my pelvis should not drop. I will show in a further picture where you can easily understand that how my pelvic drops. So if we go into it, that how static and dynamic works. So in static, we should know that the body segments, if segments are aligned, maintained in a certain position, which do not occur in a dynamic phase. Like we can go for example, like static standing, lying, sitting, or example like dynamic walking, running, jumping, throwing. Posture mechanism, how the posture is going to work with our body. Our posture is controlled by the muscles which our body having, and the nervous control. Nervous control is a like a key feature to it. that it will control all the mechanism of our posture maintaining. And what are muscle doing? They are just following the orders. Maybe what our eyes see. If I see that my table is occupied, my chair is occupied, so I cannot sit, so I will go for a stool one. So I will sit on that stool. So how I adjust my body? I will readjust my functioning, readjust my weight division to sit on a stool. So the muscle are going to work for that they are repositioning themselves and commanding the body and commanding the muscle to sit on the stool instead of a chair, because chair is more relaxing, chair is more comfortable, chair is having more gravitational feature which can hold our body better and hold our weight better and reposition ourselves. But the stool is like we have to be attentive more, we have to keep our body straight, we have to maintain our body weight on our feet and also on our stool. But if we are sitting on chair, so we can throw our body weight onto the chair, we do not use our foots. So this is a muscle which is going to work for it. If we come for the nervous control, so nervous control is like how our brain command of every time whatever we see, whatever we hear, and whatever the sensation we receive. Like if I receive a sensation of a hot thing, that I cannot sit on this hot thing, or I can sit on this cold thing, so my body will readjust. What I do, I will replan the functioning, I will use some clothes, I will use some articles to make myself comfortable and deliver my weight on it. So this is my nervous control, how my brain works for it, how my brain work for situationally against the gravity or maybe with the gravity. It will come up with the ideas of how I can transfer my weight, how I can make myself comfortable. Because whenever we acquire any posture, we need best comfortable in this field. Like if we are standing, we want the maximum comfortable standing. If we sit, if we lie, we want the comfortable state of that position. So these are the some features which are actively working, and it can seen be from naked eyes, like our muscles, like our eyes, like our ears, like our joint structures, because these structure are working with a combination or working with a stage that this can be cannot be in like separately, they cannot work, they have to work in integrated form so that our body can attain any posture or any position for longer time. If one of these is not effective, if one of these is not in our control, so we are going to have some problem. Like if we generally we used to see some blind people, so they cannot see. Whenever they you will talk to them, so you will as you can see that they are keeping their head like this because they want to hear it properly. So they are keeping this like ear on lean on down on a shoulder. So what they are doing, they are trying to focus on your words but not on your looks. So this is the posture they acquire maximum of time because they have to work with their ears, not their eyes. So this posture may be faulty for them, but for us, we have to make it correct, that we know that this is the wrong one, and we have to tell them that this is the wrong way you are keeping your body. Lekin what is happening, because they are not able to see, so they are using their ears and they have to more focus, so they have to do it. So what we do, we tell them the against features, like what you can do for better focusing on the things and not stressing your neck muscles. So we have to tell them some alternatives. So these are the things which is based on for the posture maintaining things. And the things which I have less described is joint structure. Joint is a combination of a bone and muscle which hold the position, like which transfer the weight. Like if I take an example of a knee joint, so what it is doing, if we sit or we stand, it will transfer the weight from coming from the upper body to the lower body, and it is transferring, dividing the weight to throughout our feet, like our ankle, forefoot, midfoot. It is dividing it in complete way so that it can betterly adapt with the gravitational force and you can stand for the longer time. This is the function of a joint. that it is holding your position, it is maintaining your position for a longer time, and it will not let you fall. It will give you that much of strength that you can stand for longer times, but it will stress up if you get a longer time without practicing it or without doing a much efforts on your knees. If your knee muscles are a little weak, so you will feel a stress on it, you will feel a pain on it, but after relieving this position you will get relaxed. Like you are standing for 3 hours, but suddenly you get a chair and you sit, so you will feel a better one, you will feel comfortable that okay, my pain is vanished, now I am okay. But if you keep it on doing it like 10 days, 15 days, 20 days, so this pain resist and this pain will reoccur, or this pain will persist for longer time and you will get some problem. So we have to follow our body joints, that what it is commanding. So according to the joint structure commands, we should work about that how to maintain the different posture, or how to get into it that we are going in a good posture. This is the pattern of posture which I was talking earlier about it, that there are certain posture which one are good one are faulty one. How we can relate it? The first picture is showing you a posture where a person is forward headed, like the ear pinna is not in the shoulder range and having a flat back. So what is it is showing? It is showing a faulty posture, and this person may get pain over the neck area, maybe get pain over the knee area, and get over the back area. These are their highlights. So because he is holding this position for longer time, this gonna make a trouble to him, that you are holding the wrong posture for the longer time, so you are definitely you are going to have some problem in future. So there is a third picture which is also shown about the posture which is poor. Again the forward head, again the rounded shoulder, again the weak abdominal, because this is not the erect one. Abdominal muscles are not in erected state, they are in a weak phase or loosened state. And the sway back, like the curvature which our back having is like S shape. So this is showing a wrong posture. So this person is also going to have some problem with the posture and some problem with the joints also. So in a midway, you can see the picture is showing a good posture because it is a balanced upright position. You can see about this man ears, shoulders, pelvis, and foot and knee. They all are in a straight line. Why? Because it is holding in a good posture. So we always should do so that we trouble hold this posture, so we should not go for any trouble. So this is a little things which is kept in the good posture. Like we have, it varies with the individual to individual, and of course about the weight, because some people are obese and some people are slim, so they have to manage their weight distribution. But we cannot say that every obese person having a faulty posture, like we should consider about it. And perfect body balance should always be there, and minimum muscle effort. If we stand and we are forcing our muscle to push our body somewhere, so this is the sign of a starting that we maybe get into a bad posture. So development of good posture and bad posture also, how it develops. Naturally, provide essential mechanism of to maintenance. Like to develop a good posture, we need to be a little attentive, and it develop naturally. We have to work on if we want to make it a bad posture. We have to do some things exertional so that we can go for the bad posture, and we do not notice it in a small time. Factor responsible like psychological, hygienic, and the opportunity of natural free movements. Like we go to the gym, we use a free exercises. We used to go for the park, so we go and commonly just open up our joints. If we do it regularly, our joint are not stiff. If we do not do it regularly, so our joint get stiffer just according to our age number. Poor posture, like we have failed to using our joints or muscle in a proper manner. We cannot control it in a manner which it should be. So the efforts are like we are changing the position. If I am sitting like this, so I'm keeping my shoulder forward. So what I am doing, I'm making my shoulder stressed. So I have to make it like backward and sit straight so that I can acquire a good posture. If I'm holding it in a good posture, that is okay. If I'm holding it again and again and again every time, so I'm hurting myself, and later on it would be my habit that I will sit in this way because this is my habit, but after a certain time period I will have some problem with my posture. Increase in curvature of spine, like we have a spinal curvature of S shape, and if any kind of curvature from the S shape is deviated or is distributed in a different manner or maybe in a failure, so it can cause some muscular problem, back problem, weight transmission is disturbed just because of a spinal position is changed. So we are going to have a poor posture. This is the alignment I was talking about, that when we move or when we run, when we do a jogging time, so how our pelvic drop. In first picture, you can see that the person is standing in a erect manner, in a correct manner, and the pelvis is in a straight way. But what in a second picture? Second picture, you can see easily visualize the spinal curvature, which is of S shape, is deviated from another one. You can compare it with the first picture to the second picture, that in the first picture pelvic in aligned form, in a straight line form, but in a second picture you can easily see that the pelvis is dropped. So this is going to be a faulty posture. And if we are running, so how our pelvic work? In first picture you can see the straight line, the pelvis is erected form in a correct manner, in a perfect shape. But what in the second picture, you can easily compare it with the first one, that the pelvis is dropped and the weight transmission is disturbed. So if he is running, so he is making a faulty posture. And look at the chin also. His neck is also not in a correct form. In the first picture, you can see the neckline is going in a straight way, but in the second picture, you can see that the neckline is in beyond the curvature. So the neck is deviated in somewhere. So this person might having some postural dysfunctioning, some postural disability that it is showing in this picture. So what are the factors which play the role for bad posture? Mental attitude, like sometime we used to carry ourselves in a manner that we are in a bad posture. A poor hygienic condition, general disability or illness, maybe you have hurted knee joints, so you have to go for an alternative position, and by doing that or by using that alternative position, you are addicted to it, you are habitual to it, and you are falling in a bad posture. Prolonged fatigueness and pain. If I have a pain in my ankle, so I will use an alternative position to hold on, and by continuing it I'm going to fall in a bad posture. Muscular weakness, sometimes occupational stress, like if we it is a very common example I have seen, that a person is having his desk, his chair, but not in a balanced way. Maybe the chair is too high, maybe the chair is too low, but not on the chest level, so that they can easily make themselves comfortable to see the laptop or see the screen. They will use this like leaning on the laptop, or the laptop is too high that they are sitting stretching themselves. So the balance should be there so that you can go for the good posture, not coming into faulty posture. There should be a biomechanics. Biomechanics, this is the functioning of joints and muscles which going to work properly or integrated formally, so that it will not exert any pain. If there is a pain, so there must be some feature or poor biomechanics, that because of this point you are going to have a poor posture in later stages. This is the first sign you capture. You can easily capture, because if some point of your body is painful, you are sure about that this is persisting for last 10 days or maybe 15 days, surely there is something wrong with your biomechanics, something wrong with your joints and muscular activity combinedly, because this is causing a pain. So how we re-educate of posture, that if we assess, if Last, I will show a video which is showing the complete posture assessment. But if we have a posture, how we will do it in a how we will correct it. The poor posture must be found out. Firstly, you have to assess that you are having a poor posture, you are having a faulty posture. You have to accept it that okay, I am having a bad posture. I have to correct it. Cooperate the patients. You have to cooperate with yourself, or you have to go for the therapist so that can cooperate the patient that okay, you are having a bad posture, we are going to help it out. General techniques like general relaxation. There are certain relaxation position of lying down, sitting, standing, and these position may help you for relax yourself. Treatment of pain. If you are having some treatment, some pain over any area, you have to get a treatment for that, so that you should not go for a longer time following the wrong position. If you have a pain for 2-3 days, you will get adaptive posture, but you will certainly go for the back one, you will get a good posture after removing the pain. So you have to focus that if you are having a pain, so first treat it and then go for the positioning. Mobility. Your body should be always in a mobile form. You should not restrict your body, or you should not like you are not going for any workout or any like in older time there was a session of PT in the school because they want that children should get a proper joint opening, and your muscle power should be in a good form. Techniques of relaxation. There are certain techniques for relaxation, like we use the crook line, like you are standing and flexing your knees. Prone line, if you are lying down, facing downward or facing toward the earth, and generally lying and facing toward the ceiling. General relaxation and general sitting position, so that you can relax your body and accurately transferring the body weights in the joints. So muscle power, free movements or harmonious muscular development help to maintain their body tone and efficiency. So if our muscle power is good in a great stage, so we do not have to worry about any pain, because it can go for the work of maximum time we want to do. Because sometimes we see that a sportsman person, they have some time of injury, and after that they need some time of break, and during that break period they ensure that their muscle is again toned up and again in a full efficiency, so that they can perform their sports well after the break. So this is the time where they keep their muscle power intact, or keep their muscle power in a good position. So this is my complete slideshow on the posture. Now I request to VC sir that kindly show the video to everyone so they can assess their self at home.
Okay, so I will firstly want me to run the video first.
Yes, sir, so that they can easily understand the way of posture
Okay,
assessment.
I'm doing the needful. I'm doing the needful.
Okay, thank you, sir.
So the video will run anytime now. It just takes a little time to load from the server.
In this video, I'm going to talk about observation and posture analysis. Observation is the first step of your physical assessment. During observation, you're trying to see if you can find any structural abnormalities that you can link to your patient's complaints. In order to conduct a good observation, I have to be able to see certain landmarks on the body. Therefore, I'm going to ask my patient to take off the shirt, wear shorts, and also take off the shoes.
Now that the patient is properly exposed, we can start with the observation. I advise the patient to stand upright, looking straight ahead, relax the shoulders, and let the arms hang naturally besides the body. In the frontal plane, one of the first things I could look at is the line from the tip of the nose running through the middle of the chin to the manubrium of the sternum. The head could also be rotated or leaning to one side. Next, I can compare the level of the shoulders, assess the angle of both clavicles, and see if the nipples are on the same height. The latter shall be disregarded in female patients. Moving downwards, I can compare both iliac crests and use the anterior superior iliac spine as another landmark. The spacing between trunk and arms can also be compared. Furthermore, arm length differences can be examined when comparing the level of the fingertips of both hands. Looking at the knees, I check if the apex of both patellas are leveled and whether they have an outward so-called varus position or an inward so-called valgus position. At last, I check the level of both medial malleoli. In the sagittal plane, one of the first things to assess should be the lateral plumb line, so-called line of Appleton, which is the line running from the earlobe through the humeral head. Check if the head is excessively positioned anteriorly or posteriorly. The shoulders might also be pro or retracted. When looking at the patient from the side, it's wise to examine the spine for abnormalities in the lordosis and kyphosis. On pelvic level, you can check the angle between the anterior superior iliac spine and the posterior superior iliac spine, which is usually around 15 degrees. Lastly, check if the knees are hyperextended. Now let's look at the patient from the back. Again, check if the head is rotating or leaning to one side. When examining the spine, you are looking for lateral shifts that could indicate a scoliosis. Posterior reference points include both acromia, the scapular spines, and both inferior angles of the scapula. Also check how far away the medial borders of the shoulder blade are from the spine. Moving downwards, compare both iliac crests and check the posterior superior iliac spine. The gluteal fold could also be used as a reference point. On knee level, you could identify valgus or varus positioning just like in the frontal plane. Lastly, compare both medial malleoli, and depending on the number of toes you see next to the Achilles tendon, one leg could be rotated more than the other.
Be aware though that not everything that you consider abnormal is also pathological. Alright guys, this was the video on observation. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, make sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel if you haven't. Also check out our website at www.physiotutors.com and check out other videos on the site, and I'll see you next time. Bye.
Okay, so Dr. Anamika, I believe you can again, just a minute. I believe you can start your presentation, anything if you have left, otherwise I can run the polls also.
So I have done with my things. I have completed my presentation.
Okay,
You can go
so,
for the post.
Okay. Okay, so it's a feedback poll basically. So I have launched it. I would request all members to kindly vote at your earliest. So was the session helpful for assessing the posture by your own? It's a feedback poll. It's 35 seconds. I will wait for 1 minute. We are there into the 45th second. In the meantime, if you are done with the poll, if you have any questions, you may kindly post in the questions box also. We have reached 55 seconds. We will wait for 57 seconds. We are just about to end. Okay. So 1 minute's over. We have reached a little bit more, 55% votes today. So I will share the result where 94% people goes for yes, 5% goes for a little bit. Nobody says no and nobody says not interested. So 94 plus 5 is 99. I really don't know where the 1% has gone. Maybe some bug of the system of GoToWebinar might be. But yes, so it's a good feedback for you, Dr. Anamika.
Thank you so much, sir, and thank you, UEM and IM family, that you take an interest in it and you are easily going to assess your posture right away. If you
Okay,
are having any trouble, you can ask.
Okay, so is there any other question? Like Manoj Banerjee sir is saying, sir, kindly post this video. Wonderful presentation. Yes, let me tell you, all our videos are uploaded. I will give you the link of the channel where I'm regularly uploading the videos, afternoon videos. So I will float the link of the channel to all three groups. And I request you to kindly go through that channel. All these videos are there, and several other videos, interesting videos, recordings of all webinars are there. Okay, so there is one question from Professor Shantanu Ghosh asking, is it bad to sit on the floor? A straightforward question. Is it bad to sit on the floor?
Not at all, sir. It is not a bad idea if you sit on the floor. It is okay. But if you having a weight problem, if you having a knee problem, so that may get into a trouble that you are having some problem in your knee, or maybe on your feet, or maybe on your ankle, because you are, maybe if you are in obese state, or if you are having any joint laxity, any joint trouble, so that may cause a problem. But otherwise, it is all okay to sit on floor.
Okay, okay. So thank you, madam. I really don't find any other question, but definitely those who took interest in it, definitely it was a beneficial session, helpful session. Thanks. Thank you to all IEM and UEM family members, and thanks to madam. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.